What's going on, everybody? In this video, it's time to give you my updated thoughts on a price prediction for Cardano at the top of the bull market. As everyone's getting excited and coins are starting to move back to the upside, the biggest question is how long and how far should you be holding your Cardano bags before it's time to take profit? And in this video, while I cannot give you a perfect answer, I'm going to do the best I can to give you the best advice that I can and give you the best spot potentially for your Cardano profits. If you're excited about the video, make sure right now to smash that like button. If you get to the end of the video and you enjoy it, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our content. All right, let's go. Before we get going into the video, I do want to give you a word from our sponsor, and that is BloFin. If you are looking for a place to trade Cardano right now, based off some of the details we talk about in this video, there's no better place than BloFin. Right now, you do not need a KYC. You do not need a VPN. You can start trading hundreds of pairs on leverage with BloFin right now. Go sign up in the link down below. You will not regret it. Go check out BloFin. Before we get into the details of the video, I want to talk to you, why are we talking about Cardano right now? Why are we so excited? Well, there was a video that was just posted a couple of days ago here that Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, is telling us a major bullish catalyst could be coming for all ADA holders. If you go to my screen here, this is a tweet that was actually put out by a site called XRP Insights. And he comments that in this video, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson says that integrating Cardano with XRP and Bitcoin will quadruple its TVL, or in other words, the total value locked, beyond Ethereum and Solana combined. Now, while I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, and this could just be the founder of Cardano trying to overhype what's happening, the fact is a partnership with two of the strongest and largest cryptocurrencies absolutely will be beneficial to Cardano. And whether the TVL passes Solana or Ethereum or both of them combined, Cardano is going to be a major player in this bull market. If we go to the price action right now, you can see that Cardano within the last couple of days actually just broke for the first time since way back in December. It broke an all-time, a new higher high for the price action, moving us from a bearish trend back into a bull trend, like I said, for the first time since back here in December. We did make it today on the recording of this video as high as 86 cents before starting to pull back. And if you're looking at the charts, you're going to see that there's going to be some strong support on the daily chart here in the world of 77 to potentially as low as 72 cents that I still think Cardano could touch again before starting some sort of a bull run here. I think that by the end of the summer, we very well could see Cardano reaching new highs for this bull market somewhere in the world of $1.70 to potentially as high as $2.40. But in this video, a lot of you guys came because you want to know the price prediction for the top of the bull market, not just what Cardano could be at next week or maybe a couple months from now, but where will it be at the top of the bull market? To answer this question, we have to ask ourselves three questions, right? When we have the answer to these three questions, then we can decide what the answer to that first question is, and that is, where will Cardano be? The three questions you need to ask is, first of all, where will the supply of Cardano be? We'll talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. But the second question is, what will the dominance of the total crypto market cap for Cardano be? And the third question is, what will that make the market cap? Now, I want to throw in a fourth bonus question we're actually going to talk about before we get into those key three questions. And that fourth question is when. When will the top of the bull market be? And I'm going to start by telling you, I do not know. If you want to click off this video, be my guest. But the reality is nobody knows when the top of the bull market will be. There's a lot of people still clinging to the 4-year cycle prediction that could happen in September or October of 2025. And while it is technically still possible that alt season and crypto will top out once again after a 4-year cycle, let me explain to you why I think that's not going to be the case. First of all, there's been several factors that have already kind of debunked the 4-year cycle as being a consistent trend. We saw that altcoin season did not start on time like it should have back in November of 2024. We also saw Bitcoin and a couple other altcoins hit brand new all-time highs long before they really should have, according to a 4-year cycle. And the reason for that is because this is not your normal cycle. The concept of the 4-year cycle was a cool theory, but the reality is I don't think it'll ever exist again. Why? Because for the first 15 years of cryptocurrency's beginnings, it was all about the retail investor. Well, now it's all about institutions, and we're going to start marching to the beat of the drum of the institutions, not retail investors. And I'll tell you right now, as this is still a very young time for cryptocurrency, the number one thing institutions love to do is use market manipulation to trick retail investors into selling too early and then buying too early. Or in other words, they want you to sell the bottoms and then want you to buy the tops. Why? So that they can get rich and you can't. There's a thing called the composite man theory, where you have to treat all institutions like one individual constantly trying to steal your money. And the tactics that they use is they convince retail investors of a certain movement in the markets, and then they do the exact opposite. Well, right now, the 4-year cycle is not an institutional theory. It is a retail investor's theory. And if all retail investors feel confident about taking profits in the fall of 2025, watch the top of the bull market either be early before that, which I don't see happening due to the economy, or being long term after. Could the top of the 4-year cycle actually be a situation where liquidity flips from being in the retail's hands to all of that crypto wealth transitioning over to the institutions? That is my personal theory. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about that? Do you believe in the 4-year cycle, or do you agree that it's over? If you do agree that it's over, we can continue on with this conversation and understand the institutions will make these markets go up and down as they please. The top could be beginning of 2026, end of 2026, 2027. Who knows where the top of the bull market will be? But for the sake of this video, I'm going to put my eyes somewhere around the middle of 2026. I believe we'll have massive amounts of money flowing into cryptocurrency, including Cardano, and then institutions will feel more confident about taking some profit, allowing the markets to cool off while we have a short but still a severe bear market for altcoins, and then the market starts all over. That being said, let's get into those 3 questions about what we need to talk about to get an idea of where Cardano's price could be. And let's start off with question number 1. Where will the supply of Cardano be? Now, going over to my screen, we're going to look at CoinMarketCap, where you can see the current price action of Cardano at the time of shooting this video is at 79 cents. And the reason for that is because the current supply, circulating supply, is sitting right here on 35.31 billion. And the market cap, which is not, oh, there we go, zoomed up. The market cap sitting at 28.15 billion. Well, at the end of the day, market cap divided by supply is what gives us the price we have. And the first thing you need to understand is that Cardano, with a conservative estimate, is a little bit of a schedule when it comes to staking and printing, but we're expecting confidently about 36.5 billion tokens to be in circulation during the summer of 2026. And again, even though we don't know for certain if that's going to be the exact top, for the sake of this video, we're going to pretend that the summer of 2026 is the top of the bull market. Supply right here will go from 35.3 to 36.5 billion tokens. There's the answer to question number 1. But what about question number 2? Where will the dominance for Cardano be? And here you can see on TradingView, I'm looking at the ADA.D chart. Or in other words, what's the dominance of the total crypto market cap? What does Cardano command of it? At the moment, it's coming in at about 0.88%, not even quite 1%. However, with the altcoin season not even being here, we still could shoot to the upside. Now, you might say, Tim, why are we not predicting that Cardano could get back to previous dominance levels closer towards 5%? And the reason for that is, as bullish as I am on Cardano, we got a whole lot more competition than we've had back in 2021 and 2018. So I'm not going to get into all the details as to why that is, but I think realistically, the dominance level for Cardano still could be on the north side of 2% and probably sticking below 4%. But that's going to be my 2 targets, 2 to 4%. That's where the dominance of the coin will be. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Do you see it going a lot higher, or maybe not even all the way up to 2%? But for my video, I'm going to say 2 to 4% is the proper way to look at the dominance. And now that we know the supply of Cardano, we know the dominance it will have, we got to tackle that third question, and that is, what will the market cap of Cardano be at the top of the bull market? For that, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, the Excel sheet. That's right. Go grab your sunglasses right now. We're looking at a lot of white here, but we're going to talk about where I think Cardano's market cap could be. Now, you're going to see some numbers here on the screen: 5 trillion, 11 trillion, 22 trillion. The reason for that is because if we know the potential dominance levels of Cardano, where will crypto's market cap be as a whole? And there's three interesting theories. A lot of people who believe that institutions are not going to actually get very heavily involved will say that maybe only $5 trillion is where we're getting to. Last bull market, we topped out at 3 trillion. This bull market, only 5 trillion. The more realistic opinion, in my perspective, would be $11 trillion. I think this is a target that a lot of people have been talking about for years. It's where I think you have a balancing act of, yes, institutional money coming in, some people taking profit. It's not, 2026 is not going to be the top of crypto ever, and then all of a sudden it's down from there. It's the beginning of the major bullish run on cryptocurrency. But there are some people who are super bullish about crypto and saying that we could match the market cap of gold, which at the moment is sitting just around $22 trillion. So these are the three different scenarios that Cardano could get to, a 2 to 4% dominance of each of these numbers. Let's start off with a bearish scenario. Where would we see Cardano's market cap if it only got to a $5 trillion level? This would put us somewhere between 100 and $200 billion of market cap. I'll tell you where the price prediction with this will be later, but I'll let you know right now, these, in my opinion, are pretty low predictions because 100 to 200, that's a lot compared to where our 28 billion is right now, but Cardano can do a whole lot better. And if crypto does flood in with money, expect these numbers to be on the more unrealistic low side. But what about the more realistic level? What about the $11 trillion spot? If we hit 11 trillion, a 2 to 4% dominance of cryptocurrency would put us between, on the low end, $220 billion, all the way as high as $440 billion. This is going to be probably my realistic target. Somewhere between those two numbers is the realistic target of where Cardano will be. But for the sake of the video, I want to make sure I give you an unrealistic low level. I also want to let you know where it could be unrealistic to the upside. And for that one, what would happen if $22 trillion does happen in 2026? Well, all of a sudden, we would go from having a $440 billion market cap potentially as high as $880 billion. Not quite to a trillion, but getting very, very close. Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's going to be 100, and I don't think it's going to be 880 billion, but somewhere in the middle is where I believe Cardano will rest with its final market cap. And for that, I want to give you a couple different options here and let you know what would happen should Cardano hit any of these levels. 4 different options. What happens at 100 billion, 220 billion, 440 billion, and 880 billion? Let's start off with the two unrealistic targets here. $100 billion. If Cardano was at an $100 billion market cap in 2026, we're looking at a price level of $2.74, not even hitting new all-time highs. But this would be what some people would consider the top of the bull market if we don't catch the institutional juice that I do believe we could get. I'll go ahead and tell you, it's way too low. This is very unrealistic to me. On the flip side, the permabulls, the moon boys, will tell you 880 billion. Tim, that'll be easy to get to. That would give us a price prediction of $24.11. All right, that's nice. Maybe by 2030 or 2035, but 2026, I believe, is way too soon for a $24 Cardano. I'm just going to tell you, this is not probably realistic. It's way, way, way too high. Doable? Yeah, it's doable, just probably unrealistic. For the realistic levels, though, let's get to the $220 billion option to the $440 billion option. I'm going to release both of these at the same time, so prepare yourself. Even right now in the comment section, drop what you think the price prediction will be. We'll know who's telling the truth and who's not. I'm going to go ahead and release these. The realistic expectation is that Cardano will probably be somewhere between $6.03 to $12.05. These are our realistic targets. If we only get to $11 trillion market cap with a 2% dominance, with a $220 billion market cap, $6 is your number. But if we do start to push higher towards $4.40, $12 becomes reasonable. For me, I'm going to go almost in the middle, leaning a little towards the higher end. I think that $9 to $10 is technically doable for Cardano. And if we go back over to the Cardano chart, I want to give you an idea of what that would mean for your investment should you invest right now. Now, again, if we only made it to 274 from this, we're talking about a very small investment of only a return of 3.5x. It's still a decent investment buying at 79 cents, but not a whole lot of bang for your buck. At the $6 mark, we're talking about a move of more like an 8x coming in for your investments. But like I said, realistically, 9 to 10, we're talking about an 11 to potentially 12, 13x on Cardano, and we made it to that $15 mark. Again, I don't think we will, but we're talking about a 19x on your investment. Let me know in the comments which one of these is your expectation for Cardano. For me and my house, I'm going to say $9 to $10. Let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button right now. If you want to know why I came to these conclusions, we talk about this kind of stuff daily in our VIP trading group. You can join it right now with the link down below. You will not regret it. I guarantee that. But with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Well, look at there. You made it to the end of the video, which means you probably did enjoy it. So right now, go and smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our content. But if you want to go deeper, if you want to learn more about what I think and the rest of our team thinks on the markets, the daily news, and what's going on in the charts, make sure to check out our VIP trading group where every single day we are discussing everything going on. We're going live several times a day to answer all of your questions and set up several trades to make money no matter what the markets look like. Go sign up right now with that link down below. I'll see you over there.